Hello, I'm Alex, and today I will be showing you how to make a button on Flash. So here I've just got Flash opened up. I'm using Adobe Flash Professional CS6 and ActionScript 3. So I'm just going to create a new one. There we go. Set up my stage. Okay. So yeah, today I'm going to be making a button and showing you how to make a button. So first I'm just gonna make a shape if I can. Yep. I'm gonna make a shape. And this is gonna be my button. So this rectangle is going to be my button. I'm gonna rename the layer that it's in to be rectangle so I can keep things organized. And I have to make a new layer called actions. And this is where the coding and things will go. And you've got to make sure that your actions is at the top because the coding pretty much automatically just goes to the top layer, and that's where you want your actions to be. So here we are in rectangle. So the first thing you want to do, other than sorting out your layers and everything, is you have to convert it to a symbol. So to do that, you go up to Modify and Convert to Symbol. And then this little menu pops up. Type, and then you have three types. You have a graphic, a button, and a movie clip. And today we're making a button. And then you want to rename it. I'm going to call it Blue Rectangle. Okay. So there it is. It's now a button. And in the library, you can see it is now popped up with this little button icon. And when you import a graphic from Photoshop or a photo or whatever it is, when you import it, you still have to convert it to a button. Convert to symbol, change it to a button, give it a name. It'll pop up as whatever you've named it. So yeah. So then what we have to do is we have to decide where we're going to go once we click this button. So when the user clicks on the button, what's going to happen? And I'm just going to make it go to another scene. So up here you can see I'm in scene 1, and over here you can see I've only got one scene, which is scene 1. So I'm going to make a new scene. So to do that, I go up into Insert, Insert Scene, and now I'm in scene 2. So I am going to make another rectangle. This time my rectangle will be red. There, okay, good. And again, I have to convert it to a symbol, change it into a button, because I'm going to have it so that I can click on this and go back to the other scene. So I'm going to call this red rectangle. Did not spell that right. Okay. Check that it's a button. That's okay. And now I have my two graphics buttons there. Change my layers. Alright. So I'm going to go back to my first scene here. And what I'm going to do is there's two coding things that we have to put in. And I'm just going to use code snippets. And code snippets are these little things in Flash which are basically pre-written coding that you can use really, really simply, which Flash has put in for you to use. So the little thing is here, code snippets, and we just need 2. And the 2 that we need are in timeline navigation, this folder. And so we need stop at this frame, which is going to make it stop and not continue to play. And if we let it continue to play, it's just going to flash between the two scenes really rapidly, and it won't stop and let you click the button. So I'm going to click on that, and then you can show the description, and it'll show you. And also, this is the coding. So you click on this, and then you press Insert, and it pops into here and it says code snippet inserted. And you can click on this and have a look at the coding, but you don't really need to. And once that disappears, I'll show you in a second. There. Okay. So as you can see, there's a little A has appeared in the actions frame, and that is just showing you that there is coding in that now. So yeah. Next, I'm going to put in the coding that's going to make the button go to the next scene. And one of the mistakes that a lot of people make is they click on the button and then they go into the coding and everything and they do it that way. And that, like, it sometimes works, but it's not good and you really should not do it. You've got to go into this, click on that, and then go into the coding. And you can go to next scene and play and go to previous scene and play. But the problem with this is that if you don't have your scenes in the correct order, or if you rearrange the scenes, or if something happens and the scenes go out of order, then all your coding will just absolutely mess up and everything's just gonna fall apart and it won't work. So what I do, and a lot of people do, and is basically the better option I think to use, is to use this coding, which is click to go to scene and play. And what this does, instead of looking at the order of the scenes to find the scene, it looks for the name of the scene. And so no matter what the order of the scenes are, it's going to find the right scene for you. So that's the more kind of, I don't know, the more reliable, I guess, coding. Like, if your scenes get jumbled up and aren't in the right order, then you don't have to worry about it because it's not even looking at the order. It's looking at the name of the scene. So I'm going to go over here, show code, and in the other one, you might have noticed we didn't have to do anything to the coding, but in this one we do. There's two things that we have to change about the coding here, and they're in blue. The first thing we have to do is we have to show it what button we want to be, I guess, activated, what button we want this coding to be relevant to. So to do that, we just click and drag on this instance name here. You just click, drag, and this little kind of ropey thing comes up, and you drag it to the button, and you let go, and it's there. It's that easy. If you haven't converted your symbol, your thing to a symbol, it's not going to work, and it'll do this little whiplash thing. And yeah, so you have to double check, because if that happens, then double check that your graphic is, your thing is a button. So yeah, so do that, and then we have to show what scene we want it to play and what frame we want it to play from. So the scene I want it to play, this is scene 1. The other one's scene 2. That's what they're automatically named. Scene 1, scene 2, scene 3, and so forth. So I know that the other scene is called scene 2, so I just type that in. And I want it to play from the first frame, and I just click insert. The capitalization of the coding is very important. So double check what you've named your scenes if you've renamed them, and double check the capitals that you've got, and also whether you're using spaces or underscores or dots or dashes or whatever you're using, because that's all very important. So now I'm going to go to the other scene. Sorry. Go to the other scene, click on the actions frame, and basically do the same thing. So you go stop at this frame, insert, click to go to scene and play, move down, click, drag it to the button. This time we want it to go to the first scene, so it's scene 1, insert. Cool. So again, I made sure clicked on the right frame and did all of the stuff I need to do for the coding. So I go up to control. Do not do test scene because that's not going to work because it only tests one scene. And when you click on your button, you're going to a second scene, another scene. So it's not going to work because you're only testing the one scene. So you have to go and test movie and then go down to test. And then here it is. And so this is our first scene. Click on the button. Our second scene, click on the button, and we go back. So yeah. Now there's other things that you can do with buttons, which is you can make it change when you roll over it, and you can make it change when you click on it. And to do this, you click on the button, go up into Edit, and Edit Symbols, and you click on that. And this little weird kind of timeline comes up, and it goes up, over, down, and hit. Up is what it's like just normally, when you're leaving it alone when it's by itself. Over is what happens when you roll over it. Down is what happens when you click down on it, but don't let go. And hit is the hit zone. So the area that you want the button to be active in. So yeah, I'm going to show you how you would edit all of these. So I'm going to go insert timeline keyframe and do it again for this one and again for this one. So there, they're all exactly the same. So now I want to change it. And so I'm going to go to over. Whoa, what happened there? Okay. I'm going to go into over, click on that. Here it is. And I've decided that I want to change the color. When it scrolls over, it's going to be yellow. Okay. When I scroll over, it's going to be yellow. And it's also going to get bigger. And I just used this tool here, the free transform tool. I selected the whole shape, used the free transform tool, and just clicked and dragged it. So yeah, so now when I scroll over, it's going to turn yellow and it's going to get bigger. And I'm going to move it. There. Okay. Okay, I'm going to change it so it's going to turn green. Ew, it's a gross color. Yeah, okay. Okay, it's going to turn green. Okay, and then when I go down, I want it to then turn into yellow. Why not? Okay. So then when I scroll over the button, it's going to get bigger and turn green. And when I click down on it, it's going to go back to being smaller and yellow. And my hit zone, the thing that people do with the hit zone, some people get very scared about the hit zone because the thing with the hit zone is you don't see it. No one's going to see your hit zone. My hit zone, I'm going to make it, my hit zone is going to be a little circle in the center. And basically what that means is that my hit zone is only this area. If I'm rolling over, it's not going to do the over unless I roll over the hit zone. And if I click anywhere that isn't the hit zone, the button won't work. You can also make the hit zone bigger than the button, which is good for very, very small buttons or for kids games or anything like that. So I'm just going to leave my hit zone as a little circle in the middle. I'm going to go back to scene. You can also leave the hit zone as just being your normal button, which a lot of people do. You don't have to bother with the hit zone. Because the hit zone will automatically just be the graphic. So now I'm going to go up and test movie, test. Here. As you can see, nothing happens because I'm not in the hit zone. And then if I move into the hit zone, roll over, my over comes up. And I click down, and I'm not letting go of it yet. And that's what happens. And I release, and that's my next scene. Click on my next scene, and we go back. Now the problem with the down, which is why a lot of people don't use it, is that when somebody just clicks, it looks very unprofessional, because this flashes for like half a second and then it's gone, and when it moves and transitions, when you let go, it goes back to the over, and it doesn't look that great. And that's just one of the problems of it, which is why a lot of people don't use the down thing. So yeah, just be careful when you're using the down, because sometimes it can look kind of weird and unprofessional and just look kind of messy. So yeah, that's how to make a button on Flash. I'm Alex, and I hope you learned something, and if you have any questions or comments or suggestions about other tutorials, I have a Gmail account, which is alexflash504@gmail.com. So yeah, don't be afraid to give me an email, and yeah, bye!